Last week on Gleeboot, we learned there are two genders, a Katie or a Gaga, and we got very little explanation as to what those mean. Jake dressed up as a Thundercat, but also cheated on Marley with Bray. And Sam is dating the school nurse. And that's what you missed on Gleeboot.
Gleeboot. Yeah, I'm hot off of editing that episode, and these two episodes back to back is a big woof. Like, that is just, I'm so confused about what I'm supposed to learn from the show. I think it stopped teaching lessons.
Yeah, I think you are correct. When you said what you're supposed to learn, I thought, wait, we're supposed to learn things?
Well, you know, like, and media gives off messages.
Exactly where you went. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just a little bit lost in the sauce because I didn't watch every episode, but which episode gave me a life lesson?
Well, you know, every episode has messages, and I'm like, I don't know what these messages are. It's, should I be slutty or should I be punished for not being slutty, or both?
Okay, well, welcome back to Gleeboot, the show where we get drunk and talk about rebooting Glee one episode at a time. I'm Cullen.
Alyssa.
I'm Hannah.
And today we have a special guest, a friend of the podcast, Jasmine.
Yay, guys. Hey, I'm so happy to be back. I'm so excited to talk about this episode. Like, Cullen, I'm so like, just let's get started.
We took a week off of recording, so I feel like there are a lot of things we need to update our listeners on. Tall Girl 2 came out.
As you are, Alyssa. Okay. Got it.
Did anyone watch it? Did anyone watch Tall Girl 2?
Never saw the first one.
I know my parents watched Tall Girl.
Did anyone watch the first one?
No.
Don't even know.
I did. I was like, shit.
It was Cord Overstreet's birthday.
Happy belated birthday,
yes,
Cord Overstreet.
Happy birthday to him or you, I guess, if you're listening.
Oh yeah, if you're listening,
is Overstreet the Sam guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It was Valentine's Day. What else happened? I have been invited onto an upcoming podcast. We will advertise it when it comes out, called Unhinged Fanfiction Crossovers, where the theme is going to be famous Joes. So I wrote a Joe Jonas and Joseph Gordon-Levitt fanfiction.
I can't wait.
Katy Perry appears, Taylor Swift appears.
Makes sense.
Cord Overstreet, who is IRL friends with Joe Jonas, appears.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this like a one chapter thing, or did you do a deep dive?
It's a one chapter thing called 500 Days of Joe.
It's a one chapter and it's 500 days?
Well, 500 Days of Summer with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I don't know if I've
That's a movie.
Seen that.
So, I think someone in our program did a presentation on it, or no, we watched a clip of it in Barry's class, I believe.
But did we watch the whole thing?
No, we watched a tiny clip
to watch the whole thing.
There's so many movies we're supposed to watch.
I mean, I've seen it before
sure
a long time ago.
Didn't.
You know what? We may have been supposed to watch it, and then he just wanted to show us a clip of it in class and talk about it. Oops.
Yeah.
Please don't rescind my degree.
So, okay, let's just jump into season 5, episode 5. Yeah, episode 5, the end of Twerk.
Anytime I hear the title, I just can't.
Shout out to I saw a clip, I don't know where I saw it, was I think on Instagram, of Miley Cyrus being people want me to be the white Nicki Minaj, and I sent it to my boyfriend, and he was like, no one wanted that, no one was asking.
Literally
for that.
No one asked for that. In fact, I was in a class, a feminist sociology class, and everyone in the class was like, we didn't ask for this because we talked about it. So I think she has her sources incorrect.
And according to the Glee Wiki, this was originally going to be a Miley Cyrus tribute episode.
Why did they change it? Did something
Maybe because
happen?
Miley Cyrus's impact and discography just like aren't as prolific as some of the other artists they've featured in their own episodes. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, like, I know that, but was there something, if they originally intended that, like, was there something that happened
Well, I
during
think
that time
so.
with
Like
like some sort of scandal that they were like,
It feels
we can't,
like
we
an
cannot.
idea that was thrown out there and drafted, like it's thrown, and it's like, nah. Probably not. We're throwing wrecking ball. It'll be fine.
well, because like I think they're like, oh, Miley Cyrus, like because the people associate her with twerking, but there's also the problem of like twerking being like a dance that comes from like Black culture, and then Miley appropriating it.
I was like, I'm not gonna say it. I need one of y'all to say it.
Oh yeah, no, I
I'm
literally
like,
have
Miley Cyrus made girl fuck all the way off.
Like there's a very brief glimpse where you think they're gonna talk about how it was actually from Black culture, because I mean obviously we'll talk about it, but Jake is like, it was born in the Atlanta club scene. That's it. That's your talk. I was like, okay, we've kind of hinted at it, but no one's gonna say it. Nope. Okay, that's the episode.
Yeah. So
that's
Miley Cyrus
another missed life lesson.
So many missed life lessons. Yeah. So Miley really isn't the appropriate face of twerking, which I never believe I'd say that sentence.
Okay, so this episode literally came out like 3 months after the MTV VMAs or whatever she did this at, the VMAs 2013.
With Robin Thicke.
Yeah, so this is literally like 3 months. So like,
so they were like trying to suck up that hype.
Yeah. I was like, I'm having a hard time. Like maybe the idea was like, oh, like because of this, then we can do a bunch of Miley Cyrus songs. But then like no one wanted to do The Climb again, I guess. Because didn't they do The Climb already?
Rachel tried to sing it and she was sick.
Yeah, she had laryngitis. God, you remember that episode? Wow.
No, she didn't have laryngitis, but the episode was called Laryngitis.
Yeah. And I remember Finn brought her to this guy who was like paraplegic because of football.
Yeah.
This show, you know, sometimes I'm like, wow, this like today's episode's so wild. Like, was Glee like, yeah, Glee
wild
like this?
And
forever.
I mean blowing my fucking mind. What am I watching right now? I'm literally like yelping, like, what's
happening? Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about New York. Let's get that out of the way. Rachel is in the salon and she says she needs a change.
Yeah.
And then she shows up to Funny Girl rehearsal in like a bob.
Which, okay, I have to say is so clearly a wig.
It very much is.
It's like,
don't miss it.
Like you can't see that and be like, oh yeah, no, that's definitely her real hair. So I was super confused because I literally was like, she just has a wig on. They know this, right? They didn't know it in the scene. And I was really confused.
Yeah, he's like every lip, you read your contract, every swatch of lip gloss, every this, like I need to approve.
Okay, also, there's a makeup and hair person on Broadway, right? There's a whole department still. The reason that person isn't in the scene because they would be like, bitch, that's a wig. Like they would have known. So I was like, I think you have a team of people. And then I was like, oh, well, if you don't know this is a wig, you can't have that person in the scene.
Yeah. So he's upset, but then they go on and rehearse anyway. They sing I'm woman, I'm man, you're a woman.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
It's
honestly, I'm gonna
no, tell it all.
Go ahead.
Tell me exactly how you feel, babe.
Okay, so I'm not like a Funny Girl stan. I don't really know the musical very well. I thought Rachel's performance was like Like all the other times we've seen her do stuff for Fanny, it's been like cringe. But this, I was like, oh, I can actually see her as Fanny. Like she's doing a good job performing this song and like selling me this song. So when they're like, oh, it's amazing, I didn't necessarily think they're like, it was the wig. And I'm like, okay, but I thought she performed it really well. And it was the first time in a while.
Will say the same thing. I think that like, and this is with the two people, right? Like the guy who's like,
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Mr.
exactly
Fantastic.
how I caught him out to my friend. I was like, this is
And
Mr.
Carlisle
Fantastic.
Cullen. And Carlisle Cullen.
Literally, Hannah, girl. Listen, I was like, this is Carlisle and Mr. Fantastic.
That's how I will be referring to them as long as they're in the show.
100%. Thank you so much. I was just like, I think they're both performing it pretty well separately, but the chemistry was just like, it's good. Like the performances are like fine, but I'm like, this is so bland or something.
I've never seen Funny Girl. This is the first time I've heard this song.
Mm.
I'm not going to say I was surprised at how incredibly sexist it was.
Right.
Because I know the era that it comes from, but I was still surprised that like it's something they chose to put on here because of that reason, although I shouldn't be because it's Glee. So
it's also the same episode that Blurred Lines is featured. So
yes,
it's like...
I know. And I don't know.
Girl, what?
Well, okay, so going back to the point like you made, Cullen, is that like, yeah, Carlisle Cullen is like, oh my God, like the wig just makes this. I was like, that's kind of like taking away from her talent. Like, I think she's doing a good job. I think you should credit her for that. Not just that she got a haircut in air quotes. Yeah.
I want to know if she like went to the salon and was like, I need to change, do something drastic, and then chickened out.
That makes sense for this. Well, for part of the story, because then we find out that the story is actually different. But yes, I thought that too. But also I was like, okay, but what did she get done? Because her hair looks exactly the same when she pulls it down.
Exactly. But if she's like, okay, I need to change, and then the hairstylist like holds up your hair, she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this much off, and she's, no, don't do it. Yeah,
she's like, okay, I'm gonna be in this musical, I need this kind of hairstyle, but I only want it to be like temporary. The girl's like, here, have a wig. And she's like, awesome. And then she totally pretended. She's like, yeah, I'm such a rebel. I totally did this. Because like Rachel definitely read her contract. And so she knew like, okay, I can't do this. So they're like, here, have a wig.
So Rachel comes back to the apartment where Kurt is like eating ice cream and watching TV, and he's like, oh my God, you cut your hair, and then she takes it off and it's like a wig, and she's like, yeah, I told them afterwards, I just wanted to take a risk, feel more alive. Like in high school, everything felt so urgent, and I just wanted to get some of that back. And Kurt's like, does this have anything to do with Finn? And she's like, this might be part of my grieving process, trying to like feel alive. And I actually thought that was like,
that's legit.
Yeah, like a good like character beat. But then she's like, Kurt, you're safe. You go to school, or just even mentions his internship. I don't know.
And you just, all you do is you don't do sexy FaceTiming or Skyping because you guys just fall asleep. And I was like, why are you invested in their sex life? That's weird, Rachel.
And girl, I was like, why are you? Yeah, like she got the details down. She paying way too much attention. Like my girl.
Yeah. All of the things.
I agree.
I feel like I'm like old now because all of the things that they listed off that Kurt was doing, I was like, yeah, that seems like a really regular day.
Yeah.
Like normal. Like, why is she concerned about him? He seems well adjusted.
Is that the difference between like 18 to 21? And exactly then like
I was like, maybe at 18 it feels
like 25 over
concerning,
maybe?
But like for us, we're like, that sounds pretty good, but like maybe it's too early into that. Like, girl, live a little bit.
Yeah. So then they're like, okay, let's take a risk. Like, let's open the bottle of limoncello and go get a tattoo.
Okay. So they're at the tattoo place, right?
And they're like drinking the limoncello.
Pops open the bottle. And I'm like, you can't do that in a tattoo shop. They're literally going to kick you out.
Yeah. A lot of tattoo shops won't even let you get tattoos if you're drunk.
You have to sign a paper. Even when you're doing piercings, most places make you sign a paper, say, I haven't had alcohol, I haven't had any like narcotic drugs or weed or anything. I'm not inebriated in any way. But like a lot of people get drunk tattoos. It happens. But you're not sitting there drinking before, like in the shop, right in front of the guy and being like, yeah, give me it's get better. You know, like
apparently this was based off like a viral internet thing that happened.
What?
People getting bad tattoos or
someone
like misspelled tattoos?
Got the tattoo that said it get better or whatever.
It's get better. I mean,
so they didn't even come up with this joke themselves.
Well, that's just lame.
So original.
But well done. She's literally like, okay, they're also underage. They're not 21 yet. And they're just like popping this bottle open in the tattoo shop. They would immediately get kicked out. But also they'd take a drink.
I completely forgot that you had to be 21 to drink.
That's the difference between that age and like 25.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, no, wait.
I literally was
for
like,
the tattoo, 21 to drink. What are you doing?
Yeah. And then like they take a drink. And they're both like, it tastes like lemons and gasoline. I'm like, excuse me, limoncello tastes very sweet. Like it doesn't even really taste like delicious. Alcohol.
Yeah, they must have had a really cheap bottle. I don't know what they were saving it for.
I don't know. I had like a $10 bottle of limoncello and it still's like sweet. Or maybe it's like literally like super cheap and it's just like liquor and like lemon juice, which, you know what, that could be possible.
I'm pretty sure that's a drink.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Liquor and lemon juice, definitely a drink.
Oh, no, wait. I don't remember what kind of liquor it was, but everyone was drinking the lemon drop. Yeah. Everyone was drinking them at my dad's wedding. That and Fireball. I think it was Fireball and lemon juice. And these are like people who are like 40 over. And I'm like, you guys are weird.
I had a lemon drop a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, but
yeah, they taste good.
Think of
not
like
Fireball though.
Think of like 100 45-year-old people just drinking that.
But was it an open bar?
Yes.
That's why.
But why that? There are so many other things you could get. I don't know. It was just weird.
You said Fireball mixed with lemon
juice.
That's gross. I don't know.
Everyone was drinking Fireball. I was like, I thought that was for people who are like under 21 who just started drinking.
That is
yeah, that was like a big thing. Everyone in our grad program was always like, ooh, Fireball. And I was always like, why?
I feel that.
But I still drank it when it was at the party because I was like, I just want to drink.
Because it's free. Because if somebody else brings it and you drink it, then that's free liquor.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like,
that's
yeah,
true.
if someone else bought it, I was gonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel attacked because I kind of like Fireball. Whatever.
Listen, to each your own.
It's like under 21. I was like, oh.
Like it just feels like it's so hard. Just the taste wise.
It's so, and it's like really, it's sweet too. It's sweet.
Yes, it's sweet.
And it's really hard.
And it hurts.
It's sweet and it hurts.
And I think
it's
I'm just like
not what you want.
I was like, I can't do that anymore.
But something about that cinnamony, burny, that taste, I like it.
But also, I don't like Big Red gum, so that's also why I love like Big Red cinnamon gum. Flavor.
I used to get like Big Red toothpaste because I liked it.
They have Big Red toothpaste.
It was like a Big Red cinnamon toothpaste. I know, yeah, we're going off the rails.
Last time I had.
What are we talking about anymore?
Last time I had Fireball, I think was when I went to Alyssa's coworker's party and threw up.
Oh,
in the bathroom. I was that fun. It wasn't like on their carpet or something.
Yes. It was a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like I'm responsible by my throw up.
Yeah. I mean, have I thrown up in an Uber once? Maybe. But so okay, so they get the tattoo, or so Kurt gets the tattoo first, right? And he wakes up in the morning and he realizes it says it's get better.
Yeah, Rachel looks at it. They were like, oh, let's show each other. And she's like, oh, sweetie.
And then she says that she chickened out and didn't get one.
I would be so pissed. Can you imagine? Like, we're gonna get tattoos. We're doing this thing. Let's figure it out live. And you didn't get it? And my shit spelled wrong?
Oh yeah.
Especially when it was her
you.
it was
I'm
her
pissed.
decision or her choice.
Yep.
Or her idea. It was her idea. It was like,
Oh, only makes it so much worse.
Rachel is
And
the worst friend.
and I
No,
totally bought
don't
well,
miss it.
I would argue in this episode, Tina is not a great friend at the very beginning of this episode. She records Blaine twerking.
It's
Not a
so
good friend move.
bad. Yeah, I was looking at
But
that,
anyway.
like, and then we're like making fun. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I believed that Rachel would chicken out. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that makes sense. I believe she would totally do that because she's not a great friend.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't they have a band?
Oh, with Adam Lambert and Demi Lovato. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's
doesn't
not-
Santana live in their
This
apartment?
episode. Nope.
Couldn't she
nothing.
have been like, hey guys, let's all three get tattoos because we're all friends, right? Nope. I don't think so.
Yeah. Santana was absent this week.
She's probably staying at Danny's place.
Yeah.
They probably already got an apartment together.
Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if next week's they're like, yep, we moved in together and Santana's no longer living here.
For sure. This
Would
show
not
would
be
do that.
surprised.
So then they're like, so then Kurt goes back and is like demanding a refund, and the guy's like, hey, like, this is, you like gave this to me, like, this is how you spelled it, like, I just gave it exactly the way you wanted.
Also, so does that mean, did he type it up while he was at the tattoo shop, like on their computer? Or did he do it at home and brought it with him?
He probably brought it with him.
He has a working printer. That's a luxury.
Well,
And
he
he
also works
wasn't-
at Vogue.
Oh yeah.
But he wasn't drinking at the house because they popped open the bottle at the thing, and he only said he had 2 shots of limoncello and he was hungover somehow.
I'm pretty sure this was just a straight up grammatical error.
Yeah.
He did not
so like
proofread his one sentence.
I know.
like that's so that's so dumb.
Mm-hmm. I gotta be honest though, it feels like a dumb mistake that someone his age would make.
Yeah. He should be fired from Vogue.
And this was before drinking. I guess what? This is
Yeah, because
before.
if he brought it with him, he wouldn't have been drinking.
Ew, come on, Kurt.
And like there's enough time between typing it out, hitting Control P, getting it from the printer, and folding it up
All of that. All of
that
that.
you would be like, oh shit, I spelled it wrong.
And you know what? I hear the tattoo artist like, I don't want to hear about every freaking story, but I feel like, damn, check in. Like, you know, this is like spelled incorrectly, right?
That
Yes,
guy's
I
absolutely
know.
correct.
Right.
The artist.
Like, just give me that shit. I don't want to hear nothing else, right?
I don't
You know,
check.
like,
He said he doesn't check tattoos because people have their own, like.
no, I hear that. And I was like, I hear that. But I'm like, this
But
is not
it's-
spelled right.
It's
Right.
not
Yeah.
correct.
You know that. I don't want to hear shit else. It's spelled wrong. Like,
Yeah.
That's it. And
To his
It's
credit, he
pathetic.
did fix it
It's fucked.
for no charge, which I was like
That's
really
true.
surprised by.
and what it was the
And the
Tongue piercing.
the tongue piercing too.
yeah.
Why would you give a free tongue piercing? Like, why can't you just be like, I will fix it for you? Because a tongue piercing's like $50.
Yeah, I don't know.
They just wanted the joke of Kurt talking like, oh.
If
Yeah,
it's
that
at like a
was
local business, though,
100%.
like they might. People who have local businesses, they'll do things to keep customers.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know, but does Kurt seem like the guy who would come back after that?
You never know. Like after one
That's-
piercing, people go back for
He
more.
can refer.
That's
to
true.
him.
I mean, that's what I did.
He gonna be like, hey, go to this shop. He can refer a friend. It's all about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
I
He definitely ain't
just-
coming back.
When Kurt is talking to Rachel about like oh, this must be because we're really sad about Finn, and he's like got like the lisp, it was really hard to take that seriously. They were having like a moment and I was like, I can't right now, like you sound ridiculous.
Yeah, because he comes back and they're like, I just needed something to kind of jolt me awake, I'm kind of going through the motions since Finn died. And I actually really like this storyline in that, like, that's very realistic and like a realistic way for people to process grief. It's changed to it's Bette Midler or
it gets
Bette Midler.
No, I think it is. I think it's
Bette Midler.
It's Bette
like
Midler.
And they're like, doesn't make sense, but it's so perfect. And I'm like, okay, sure.
I don't even understand. Is that like a person?
Yeah.
Yes, Bette Midler is a person.
She's a singer. She's the kind of singer Kurt would be into.
She's
like
the lead witch in
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, the redheaded witch.
Okay.
That's Bette Midler. Yeah.
She's the kind of like brassy Broadway star that Kurt would.
Former host on The View, actually.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's Get Bette Midler. Yeah, it still doesn't make sense, but whatever, Kurt.
But apparently it's perfect. But yeah, I do think that like I don't have a lot necessarily to actually like pick on about the story itself. It really was just like the nitpicky, like little weird things. Because overall, like I think like everyone grieves differently. And I think this was a really like interesting way to approach it.
I actually know people who got tattoos after someone's death, specifically to memorialize that person.
Oh, yeah, a lot of times.
And oh my gosh, that's like gonna be my first tattoo. Was like my brother, he passed, and I want to get a tattoo to like commemorate him. It's a huge thing. It's a thing that makes people. You're right, just like it's gonna be my first.
I think like it's totally realistic. And then like obviously this pushes us into like after they have their little moment about like, this kind of jolted us awake. And then Rachel kind of like goes into the bathroom and pulls up her shirt and we see like Finn's name is tattooed on her like rib cage.
Tiniest tattoo I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I think it was less than an inch. And also
it was
definitely fake. I remember thinking that.
Yeah, so like, and it's interesting that like she doesn't tell Kurt.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. I just think it's kind of interesting. That's honestly all I have to say about it.
Obviously, her privacy in that moment was more important than her like friendship with Kurt. So she's still dealing with Finn's death at a level that is extremely potent.
Yeah.
All right, I need more wine before we talk about what happens at McKinley.
Okay, go get it. Bring the bottle.
Bring the bottle.
We'll put it right here on the desk.
Cullen, we forgot to talk about what we're drinking.
Oh my god.
What are you guys drinking?
We're having wine, La Presna Chile Merlot.
Correct.
Ooh.
Yes, I believe it was from Cullen's birthday.
I think or when I left Mandalay, or
I don't know. I have no idea. Neither of us, like, I asked him if the bottle was his, and then he said, "I don't know. I thought it was yours." So
now it's both of yours.
Yes, we're splitting it.
I've got an Angry Orchard that now has no wrapper or label on it because it just look at that, so satisfying.
It is.
I think once again I'm drinking a brand called Sweet Bitch. It's called Cabernet. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh,
and yes, girl, and it's great. I've been sipping and coasting, having a great time this Sunday.
So okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode.
That sounds good. I'm hungry.
So Blaine is twerking as he's putting away stuff in the choir room. Why anyone would think they're completely alone in a public high school?
Great question.
So he's twerking and then Tina's filming it and then she's like, Blaine, what are you doing? And then
he's twerking not well. I don't think I saw a single person in this show twerk well.
Thank you so much for saying that. I do agree.
I literally had to think about it, and I was like, I don't even know if
at all.
I don't know if anyone even really got close.
And then the girl who they like had to instruct everyone. This is a joke. I don't know if Cullen's gonna bring it up, but like, what the fuck? Like she's not
Well,
teaching
Kitty-
everyone. She's not doing a good job.
No.
So what is this?
Yeah, he was just kind of like popping his butt again and again. It was just like,
yeah.
I don't know,
And he
it
was
doesn't-
really working all the furniture in there, and it was just like, that's not necessary. That's where people sit.
so then he's like, Tina, no. And then they're all watching it. Like she posted
Including Shu, which is so weird.
I don't think she posted it. I think she was just showing the video from her phone.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. They're all crowding around her tiny phone because back then the phones were, the screen was smaller because there used to be a border on an iPhone.
Right,
So
yeah.
like it was even smaller.
Yeah. Are they using iPhones?
I think so.
I'm assuming so, but even like Androids, although Androids
I mean,
typically were
everything
bigger.
was smaller.
Yeah.
And everyone on TV always has the latest technology because they weren't as ubiquitous as they are now. But conspicuous consumption, you always have to show people having more money than people do in real life on TV.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
But yeah, so like they're watching it and Blaine's super embarrassed, as he should be. Like, yeah, probably wasn't smart to think that he was going to be alone, but like he was just like feeling himself, and it wasn't twerking, but like he was having fun, and it was weird looking. But you know what? We love a guy who tries.
Yeah, he was by himself. I mean, whatever. It's fine.
It did feel very realistically high school though.
Yeah.
Like something like you're someone who's like, yeah, I'm your friend, but I'm also going to
Embarrass you in front of all of your other friends.
Of
Yeah.
course, as one does.
But yeah, and then Shu comes over to Blaine and puts his arms around him and is like, you're so good, buddy. This is gonna be great. You just gave me an idea because I can't come up with ideas on my own.
We're gonna twerk at nationals. We're gonna shake our America's sweetheart image, and we're gonna be edgier.
Which is what are we talking about here, guys?
So they could beat Throat Explosion. Yeah,
I don't
Jasmine.
care. This ain't the way. What are you talking? Shu is so weird.
He's so weird.
What is wrong with this man?
Last week,
Lots of things.
he suspended. Yeah, last week, because that was Katie Gaga. So he suspended Marley from the Glee Club for a week for essentially not agreeing to wear like a skimpy bikini type thing for whatever assignment they were doing. And this goes into like a whole other step of like children's sexualization in his classroom. And I'm like, bruh.
This man belongs behind bars.
He calls it free speech and like
put him below the jail. I just don't understand. You're kidding. She got in trouble for not wearing an outfit.
Correct.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The underlying message was because she was wearing a Katy Perry looking outfit when she was supposed to be wearing a Gaga looking outfit. But the Gaga outfit was apparently a bikini.
It was like supposed to be like they framed it as her not doing something for the team.
Her personal agenda.
Yeah, she wasn't comfortable
anyway
with wearing something like that.
This is all to say that Shu's sexualization of children is just kind of devolving. Why do I keep saying the word evolve? It's a devolving into another level.
Yeah. I would take my children out of the Glee Club if I heard they were doing this.
Yeah.
Right away.
Oh yeah.
And him fighting to keep it. I'm like, am I agreeing with Sue right now? Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, last week she made a good point.
They do a 180 like with Sue and Will. It's very interesting. They just switch their positions.
Yeah, I'm like, because I very recently, I think the quarterback went on a rant on how much I hate Sue. But this episode, I was like, she right, you know.
last week we were all kind of like, yeah, she's making a good point. Like, kids cannot be wearing these sexual outfits as costumes. Like, that's sexualizing children. Like, you can't do that. And she's right.
And like, so this is a fine line that all teen shows walk, is the fact that like teenagers do have sex, but like, how do you present that in a way that's not sexualizing children? And like, the answer to that is you talk about things like consent and education and stuff, but like, I just remember when Gwyneth Paltrow came on to teach them about sex ed, she was like, all sexual encounter begins with, and I was expecting her to say consent, and she said a touch, and then they sang like, do you want to touch me
there? Yeah.
So I feel like the answer obviously to that is very clear, but the bigger issue is sex in itself. Sexualization is a huge part of the American film industry.
Yeah.
So that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like, I'm just sitting here like soaking it on. Like,
Yeah.
It's just so bad because you're right. Like, teenagers have sex, but like the sexualization of them is different from that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just, we shouldn't be doing this. That
right?
The blurred line shit had me. My mind was blown.
I was flabbergasted.
So. Okay. So he's like, it's all about, because Sue does a Sue's Corner where she calls out Miley Cyrus and says twerking is bad, and she's gonna ban twerking from her school, and she's gonna.
But let's also quickly talk about that. What Miley Cyrus did the VMAs was not twerking. She just bent over and wiggled her butt. It's not the same thing. Anyway,
I have no idea what happened, so
you know what,
vividly.
I'm going to help you stay away from it.
It's true.
No,
it was
not a damn thing. It'll be fine.
Yeah, no. So yeah. But like, so in her Sue's Corner, I don't remember exactly the wording, but I just wrote in my notes, Sue said, end the pandemic. Oh my God, Glee predicted COVID. So there you go.
Yeah. So I forgot Sue still had Sue's Corner.
Yeah, that hasn't cropped up in quite a while.
In seasons.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And then that after that,
he's like,
Shu's like, Sue is bad.
He's like, we
must sing
like
Alan Thicke's song, and everyone's like, it's Robin Thicke.
He's like, we need to. It's what you have to blur the lines between like pushing the envelope and masculine and feminine or something. It's like what that song Blurred Lines is all about. And they're like, that's not what it's about. And he's like,
yeah, it is. Let's sing it together. And then they go out in the hallway and they sing it together.
How many times was this man told what the song was about?
Well, what I don't understand is that everyone knew what that song was about. Like, there was stuff about it days after that song came out. And so, like, there's no way he could have escaped that.
Yeah. Unless he was me, but even I know what that song is about, and I remember the controversy. So I'm going to say that's not an accurate statement, what I said.
Yeah, like, there's so shocked. And then looking at the imagery as well. Like,
the video.
The boy laying on the desk, and the girl kind of like, she's laying flat on the desk, and she's all grinding up on him. It was just so much. And then she was like in the middle of it, like, her line, like, girl, no, this ain't right.
Jesus. Because they literally like have a teen sex riot around the high school, interrupting classes. Shu like kisses the hand of one of the teachers. Pretty sure that's like sexual harassment. Yeah, they're just like grinding on each other, and it's like, you can't do that.
They're just like going down the hallway. We have some Bree, Marley, Jake content.
Oh yeah.
You know, everyone is doing this. It's like, yeah, I think Ryder does the worm.
It was weird, chaotic,
Mhm.
and weird. It
Yep.
felt like some kind of weird musical orgy.
That's a great way to put it.
It is the perfect way to put it.
It was
And that
a
shit was,
weird
like,
sexual. What do you call it?
so
A weird
sexual.
sexual.
A weird musical orgy.
A weird musical orgy led by a high school teacher.
Led by, and let that sink in, because that's what it was. Who is this man? He's not fighting for the right shit anymore. I'm like, so get his ass.
Yeah,
No,
seriously.
I don't want my kids twerking. You're kidding.
There's literally no way that he would have a job after this. No way.
We're gonna get to the justification, right? We're itching towards like his justification for all this bullshit, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Which,
because
can't wait to
listen,
dive
I'm
into
ready.
that.
I'm like Cullen said before I jump on it. 'Cause I got some shit to say.
Well, I mean, Hannah, you said it. There's no way he would have a job, and then he gets fired.
And he just comes back, and I'm like, no, like, you're fired. Like,
Yeah.
Didn't
why are
she
you
say-
at the school?
You're fired. Like, didn't she say those words?
we are an at-will. I'm pretty sure Ohio is an at-will employment state.
I don't know, probably.
I mean, if California is, I'm pretty sure Ohio is.
I think
too.
everywhere is. Is there anywhere that's not that?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's a
say.
good question.
Kind of like, does it depend on the company?
I mean,
I
there
think
are
that-
contract positions, but most employers are at will.
At will, yeah.
Mhm.
Which is some sketchy shit. But
Yeah.
bye, why? We ain't gotta explain. What?
The states with at-will employment as of 2022: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, California, Delaware, Idaho, Massachusetts, Montana, Utah, and Wyoming. That doesn't make
Wait,
any sense because
the-
Florida's at-will.
Okay. I feel
First for a
like that
couple
list
at
is
will, Michigan.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay. They must have
completely-
left out like a bunch.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
just like,
no,
who cares about
those
this
are some of
shit?
the oh, this is a weird, I don't know. It just, see, this is why the Google the search, the very first search thing, and it comes up with a paragraph. Don't ever just believe that. Always click on the actual thing because it could be written incorrectly. Anyway.
So yeah, so Sue is like, you just went down the hallway singing a song about coercive sexual advances while 9 minors twerked alongside you. And I'm like, they were more than 9, they're doing more than just twerking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
he's like, I'm gonna appeal to the school board. So he puts on,
Girl.
Because he says something about free speech,
Come
and I'm like,
on.
this is not free speech.
That is
No one
not the same
understands what that
thing.
means. And I
Mhm.
think this is about the time where I wrote,
You
I'm
just
pretty sure
want to
Glee caused
see
the
young kids
insurrection.
shake their ass. Weirdo. Like, come on,
Yeah.
shoot.
Like, that,
Shoot.
I don't know, like, what is his motivation? He doesn't want to be told that he's wrong and like being inappropriate around children, even though it's definitely the truth.
even though he definitely put on Rocky
100%.
Horror a couple years ago.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
like-
know. Is he appealing like his being fired in front of the school board, or is he appealing her
Twerking ban.
outlawing
Good question.
the twerking ban? Because
Maybe it's
we
both.
see this. We see in front of the school board. And Cullen, explain what happens.
I'm realizing though I've missed a couple scenes because there is the scene where Jake says it's starting the Atlanta club scene. They're showing people how to twerk.
Oh God, I wanted
There's-
to skip that, but I guess we have to talk about it.
Yeah, Kitty is like trying to show them how to do it.
She
Uh,
says, "Put your hands on your hips, your thumbs on your butt," and she goes, "Pop, pop, pop." And the camera zooms in each time. I'm like, I don't want to see her ass, especially when she's doing this. This is just uncalled for. She is technically underage in this scene, her character.
Correct.
So
Marley's bad at it.
But she's like adorable because she's just kind of like wiggling. And I'm like, oh, sweet summer child.
Tina is supposed to be bad at it. Jen Ushkowitz, star of the Swish Swish music video, I think can actually twerk in real life. But
looking at them, honestly, it looked like they were doing the time warp because they were all kind of like jutting their hips, and I was like, "This is just the time warp."
Well, isn't one of Kitty's instructions like legs apart or something
Legs
like that?
Put your feet apart and then hands on your hips. Yeah,
Yep.
it's literally just the time warp.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Kitty is describing the twerking in the Shake It Off music video.
Oh.
When Taylor's crawling into those people's legs.
Oh God. I'm suddenly remembering that video.
Yeah.
And we're trying to forget that. Like, like bringing up some badass memories. Nobody's trying to think about that shit.
In general, they were all terrible.
Yeah. Why was Kitty teaching? I would figure that Jake would be the one teaching because he's the only one who's actually like
he's
a good dancer. Yeah, and he's been doing dance. So it's like,
well, then Sam is just like grinding. They're like, great job.
Yeah, and that
he's like,
didn't make
that
any
was
sense to me.
a signature white chocolate move. And I'm like, okay.
Let's
Here's
never
another
forget
reference.
that this boy was an underage stripper.
Yep. The show will never let us forget.
Yeah. So if they moved the school board meeting to the auditorium so Will could do this presentation. And so he's talking about like how different dances were considered scandalous. He talks about the waltz, which I do know was considered scandalous at the time.
Scandalous.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, you were like hanging on the other person.
Yeah, you were touching them.
It was the waltz, and then it was jazz dancers, right?
Like the hot mashed potato and the...
Well, the mashed potato was the
50s.
So
Yeah.
it was jazz, and then mashed potato, and then
the lambada.
A lambada. Elvis was in there.
Yeah.
For rock and roll. And then he's like, and now twerk is being like, I don't know how to like,
come on, shoot.
And then
What's
they
the
come
logic?
out.
We talking about twerking.
Then they come out and literally no one is twerking. They're just like, it's cacophony. Like, and the school board is like, yeah, I want to be on the right side of dance history. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Twerking. That is
But not
literally
his
a
job.
sexual. Like, come on.
That's true.
He thought he was doing some shit. Sure, you ain't doing nothing, bro.
No, because
You looking like a creepo. Keep him fired. Because what the fuck?
like,
yeah, because he's like, it blurs the lines between masculine and feminine, and like tomorrow or today or something.
I don't know. I don't remember his speech.
all I know is that this is what I decided. I don't care if teenagers twerk. I don't have any problem with that. What I have a problem with is their adult teacher encouraging them to do it and having them do it as part of like a freaking competition. Like, yeah,
that's just where I'm at.
Let the
Teenagers gonna be
children and the
teenagers,
youth push their dance phenomenons, but don't like, you don't need to be encouraging.
You don't need to
this.
sexualize your children in a performance in order to win.
Yeah, that's literally, and like, he does that all the
Hundo
time.
kid.
He'll pick something. He's like, we're going to do this because this is going to give us an edge. And it's almost always something sexual.
That's
Remember when they did Push It and he was like, that's not what Glee Club's about.
Oh, wow. That is a deep cut. That's what, like episode 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ow. Oh,
Yeah, that hurt.
that's some truth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shoes evolved, as Hannah says.
Maybe that scene changed him and he was just like, yes.
Well, because he
I should be sexualizing these children for performances.
But that doesn't even make sense because there are other teams that we've seen in regionals and nationals who definitely sexualized their performances but didn't win.
Yeah.
There's another bit of fact right there. Why do that if clearly it's not the winning trend?
Because like imagine like being a judge and you watch a bunch of 16-year-olds like being sexual with each other. Like you're not gonna think, oh, this is great. You're like, this is uncomfortable. I don't want to be watching this.
You would hope that's what judges would think.
Yeah. Or anyone in the audience, you would hope that's what everyone thinks.
So, okay, what else? So the twerking ban is lifted. And then
but as far as I know, she was still fired.
Yeah, that never was addressed. Like
I know. Cullen and I are pouring ourselves more wine. Thank you.
That just like wasn't addressed. I don't think he cares. He's gonna keep showing up and like hoping he gets a paycheck. At this point, I don't think he's doing it because he needs money. He's doing it because he's like on a power trip.
Yeah.
So that the resolution of the twerking storyline is tied in with another storyline. But before we get into that storyline, there's a segment I forgot to do at the beginning. Our new Fuck, Marry, Kill segment.
All right.
With teen drama characters. This week's bracket is Mean Girls turned lesbians. We have Santana Lopez of Glee, Cheryl Blossom of Riverdale, and Allison De Laurentiis of Pretty Little Liars.
I gotta see what she looks like.
I only know one of those.
Great. Here's what you need to know is that they're all menaces and there's no good choice. Like with the jocks, it was like easy, like kill a dude from Euphoria, fuck Archie, marry Sam. But like,
I don't know who the other two are. Can you give me like something?
Cheryl is a redhead. She's joined multiple cults.
Okay.
She has her brother's corpse in a trunk in her house.
Okay.
She's burned her house down once. She says she owns the color red.
She's really rich because of maple syrup.
Yeah. Allison De Laurentiis was an evil, maniacal 14-year-old girl who was blackmailing everyone.
Was she's the blonde?
Yeah.
Who
She's
died.
14?
Yeah, and she
Okay,
has
I
a
have to
relationship
kill
with
that
an
one.
adult. She dies, but then it turns out she's alive, and she's a menace. Yeah.
And that's Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
And who was the other one?
Santana.
Santana. Okay.
Yeah. So what I think I'm gonna do, I think I'm going to murder Allison. Because she's unhinged. Also, she is my
Truly murder her like this time for real.
Yeah. She's also my boyfriend's voicemail, so I'm a little sick of her.
Oh my god.
And I think I would fuck Cheryl and marry Santana, because as much as Santana's like insane, like she's not like keep your dead corpse of your brother in a trunk in your house insane. So like I'm just gonna have to deal with that verbal abuse because
yeah, no, I think do I have to marry one of them?
there's like no, like this, the jocks was easy, but this is like, these are all menaces to society and the United Nations.
You know what? I'm just gonna be different to be different. I'll marry Cheryl Blossom, even though I know nothing about her except for what seems like incredible skills to possibly have, especially if I have to live in the Riverdale universe. If I'm marrying her, I'm staying there forever.
She does sing Stupid Love at a football game by Lady Gaga. She has some Glee energy.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna marry Cheryl, fuck Santana, kill Allison.
My answers, for different reasons, are the exact same as Cullen's. I'm going to kill Allison because she's 14 and I'm not into statutory rape. And also, yeah, I just feel like I gotta stop this craziness before it gets any further. And
Sounded like a really vague statement about just like the world.
to be fair,
God,
if someone had met Hitler at 14 years old, you know this particular question, right? Would you murder the 14-year-old Hitler or would you not? It's a valid question. In this case, Allison is dying. Cheryl, I would fuck because I don't know much about her, but
she is hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. She's hot. And she's also crazy. Santana to me actually feels like wife material. Because my family ribs each other all the time, and all of these insults just seem like really fun and kind of like, you know, we go back and forth. So I could live with her. We could be friends and still like have a good marriage. Seems like a good deal to me. Cullen can attest to how my family ribs each other. It's harsh and fun, but not a lot of people get it. So
I don't think it's quite as Santana harsh.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But I could probably ramp up my style a little bit to be on her level.
Yeah. I used to be like, I can't believe Alyssa's saying this to her mom, and then I like figured it out.
Yes, we're not nice to each other, but why does it matter if we already know that we're joking, like, or not joking and just having a good time?
That's how it is with my siblings, and not everyone can take that. We roast each other.
Yeah.
Like, would it be funny? Like, damn, that's be so fun. Like, you can just, just poke fun and it's all good at the end. Like, yeah, not everyone can take that. They take themselves too seriously, might be a little too harsh, but I just like being able to poke fun with someone who doesn't take them seriously. My family, we don't. We be going hard. Like, you said that to your sister? I'm like, fuck yeah, because it was funny as shit. I sure the fuck did. It was there for the take.
Who will you marry, kill?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think Cullen and Allyssa, it's like exactly Cheryl, she's pretty cute. I have sex with that girl. Marry Santana and kill Allison because you played me the one time and I'm gonna get her this time around. Like Allison ass. Like
yeah. I'll have to make like a poll on our Instagram to see what our listeners think. Yeah. Okay, so there's one storyline in this episode that's actually like really good. Unique is like feeling unsafe in the men's room. So she goes into the women's room, and then Bree sees her and is like, hey, what are you doing here? And then like Unique explains herself, and Bree is like, okay, I'll keep your secret. But then she goes in the men's room to make out with Jake.
Yeah, because like
I didn't quite understand that jump in logic, actually.
So what happens is Unique comes in and Bree is there. Bree's like, I won't tell anyone.
Right.
And then Unique has like a voiceover and is like, and that's what started the bathroom gender riot of 2013. And I was like, excuse me?
This is the most boomer shit.
Yeah, because then we see Bree making out with Jake in the boys' room, and Stoner Brett's there. He comes out, he's like, whoa. And so then he goes into the girls' room because he heard they had heated seats and it's a lot cleaner. And then everyone just kind of started going in each other's bathrooms. It honestly looked super chill, except for the fact there was a rave at one point. So right, I don't know what was happening.
It's very much like what an older person would think would happen with trans rights and using the bathroom, like gender chaos.
But it was chill until there was a rave. But like nobody the cared. Rave was fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really
so if there's a rave in the girls' bathroom, just go to the boys' bathroom.
Yeah, and that was the other thing is like then all the girls started going to the boys' bathroom because they realized boys don't have to wait in line.
I'm not
And
gonna
I'm
lie,
like,
I've done that.
I've done that so many
For
times.
sure.
I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm going to the men's restroom.
Yep.
I go and I'm like, I'm here. I have to pee. I'm not looking. And then I just go to a stall.
It's true. When
Mhm.
you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm not about to play around.
Although, here's an interesting fact for all of you women out there. The reason why the wait is so long is because after a woman has a child, their pelvic muscles are not as strong as they used to be. So they can't hold their pee longer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the wait's always longer.
Because there's so many women who've had babies
Children.
in the bathroom.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Oh, I figured it was because like we have to like pull down our pants to do either business.
I mean,
And that
that's
takes-
also true, but I would suspect that it has more to do with like a medical condition in that your pelvic muscles are not
Where
as
like
strong as they
women are
used
just
to
going to the
be.
bathroom more often.
Yes,
So then
correct.
there's going to be more people. That makes
Mhm.
sense. I could see that.
Yeah.
So let's just normalize genderless bathrooms
Mhm.
and everyone can wait in line together. Or just make it a
Yay!
really big ass bathroom.
True.
Yeah.
And no one has to wait.
So my bathroom pet peeve is, so when it comes to urinals, the general rule is like, if there's space, you don't go to the one right next to someone. You go to the, just because like we all
Unspoken,
There's a
understand.
right?
similar
like, that's
thing-
not an actual rule, it's an unspoken.
Yeah, it's
rule.
unspoken.
Yeah.
But
And that's similar to like women in like if there's like a stall, if there's like 3 stalls and someone's at the end, you go to the other
Yeah.
end typically, unless that one's like broken.
But like, if there's a line, I'm not gonna wait. You know, like I'm gonna go to
No.
that. Some people are so insecure that they have to wait. They can't be in the urinal next to someone, and I'm like, no one is looking at your penis while we're peeing. Like no one cares.
Yeah, literally no one's gonna be looking. It's
Like I'm
it's
like,
so silly.
I'm just like, just fucking go.
Toxic
Like don't be so
masculinity.
insecure. Like, it like it pisses me off.
If my chaotic nature like transferred to me as a man, you know, I would be
You'd
at a
always be at that
urinal.
middle urinal, no matter
I
who's
would,
there.
I would stand right next to someone, and then if there was like obviously an insecure person, I would just like stare straight at them.
Just try to make eye contact. You're not looking down. You're just like, I just want to make eye contact with you, bruh.
Chaos.
Chaos.
That's what I'm here
Also,
for.
I learned the word urinal cakes like a year ago. No, didn't know what that was. Had to look it up.
I don't know if
I
I
was
want to
like,
know. Had
what?
urinal cakes.
It's
I
a,
think
it's a
I
clean
learned
thing. It's a
it.
cleaning thing.
I
Right?
learned it from Parks
Oh,
and Rec,
that
in
sounds
which one
gross.
of the characters eats a urinal cake.
I missed
Wait,
that episode.
Wait, who
Same.
does?
And I
think
thought
it
I
was
watched
Parks
every
and
episode.
Rec.
Maybe I blocked it out. Because what the fuck?
It might have been something else, but like they're making a bet, and then the bet was you have to, and then he just eats it.
No, thank you.
I
No,
feel like
no,
that's
no,
But
no,
the
no.
bet was
Office.
that he had to touch it.
I think that has to be the
It might have been
Office.
The Office.
Because
I
it
always
sounds
get
like
those two
something Jim and
confused.
Dwight would do.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
So
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yep.
Anyway.
So there's like this bathroom gender riot thing, and then so that doesn't even come into play. It just happens and it's never brought up.
And
Correct.
then they just go to Sue's office, right? And
Well-
that's when Unique is like, I want my own bathroom.
Well, no, Unique goes into the men's room at one point, and there are
Oh,
these
right.
boys, and they
Right.
like
She gets
corner
bullied.
her, and they take off her wig and they flush down the toilet.
I thought it was going to be way more physical than that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It was scary. It was
The-
legitimately
it was-
scary.
It was
The body
scary. It
language
upset me
was
so
very
much.
violent.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
you? Ooh, that shit pisses me off. Makes me want to
Mhm.
fight. For
Mhm.
real.
Yeah. Because then later, Unique is like, it's not about not feeling safe in the men's room. It's about not feeling like I belong. And I'm like, I'm worried for you.
Yes,
Like,
I
yeah,
felt
listen.
unsafe watching a scene in which I was not a part
Mhm.
of.
yeah, like I don't feel safe for you, you know?
Take your safety into consideration, please.
And because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I remember even still when I was pretty conservative, just realizing that like most of trans rights are just like, hey, please don't murder us. Like, like people just like asking to exist. And
Isn't that
I was
crazy?
and so I'm like, yeah, like that's my fear for Unique is that she will get like attacked or murdered or something, you know. It's upsetting. Because like Ryder at one point last season, remember, he was like, oh, what bathroom do you use?
Yeah, he was really confused about transgender folks and just that idea. But he's clearly come around to being like, oh, that's not cool to be transphobic or mean or violent at all. And so he defends Unique, or at least like they make like a stance to be like, we're gonna go and fight these dudes.
Well, they never, I mean, it's interesting because I actually completely forgot about the catfishing.
Yeah, I think the show did too.
Yep. That's it? It's gone?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure. Do you want some?
Close the microphone. There we go.
Tink.
Yeah. So, yeah, because they're like, we're going to beat some people up. And Mr. Shu is like, that's not the way.
This is when Unique sings.
Is, yes, after her performance.
If I Were a Boy, which has been best performance of the season so far. Best performance in a while.
And, okay, great. I was like, I'm going to say, because I know we're supposed to do the whole like favorite, and I'm like, this was so good.
It was really good.
The message, everything, it was really good. It was my
legitimately
favorite.
Brought me to tears.
It's been a while since Glee has used music that well, and like that's its greatest weapon is the fact that it can use these songs, and like
and then it chooses to use blurred lines.
Yeah. So,
like we know that Glee has the power to do things correctly and really well, like they did specifically for that scene with Unique.
And like the face acting of the people like watching, I was like, it reminds me that these people are actually good actors when they're given like real material to work with. Like they were like looked so upset and concerned, and like I felt for Unique. It was so well done. It was like a great musical moment.
It was so well done. It was my favorite of the episode for sure. So
yeah. And so Unique then makes a plea. Will takes Unique to the teacher's bathroom.
Well,
first Unique has gone to Sue and said something, which is what prompted her to put the mystery bathroom
porta potty.
It looks like the Riddler's porta potty. In the middle, it's nailed or screwed down to the floor of the choir room, and Tina is constantly using it as her own personal bathroom. Everyone's weirded out.
I thought that was actually pretty funny.
She literally comes out of it after they're like, oh, this is awful. And she's like, get your priorities straight. I was like, I think the priority is to like keep your friend safe, but okay, Tina. I mean.
And then Kitty says something super racist.
What was it this time?
Like, I have to go to the bathroom, and she's like, if Oprah's gonna drop off the Cosby kids at the pool, I'm not gonna be here for it. I'm like, why has no one slapped Kitty yet?
Listen, I was sitting there like, I know Cullen probably like thought of me like, don't bring up my name, don't say some bullshit like that. And I want to fight your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Kitty is just. I don't understand.
It took me aback. I was like, did she really just say that? Oprah,
and like
Cosby, because it was just too much.
No one calls it out. No one's like, hey, that's super racist. Like,
yeah, like Unique is already dealing with transphobia today. Can we put the racism like aside? Come on.
Put a pin in it for a sec. Let us deal with this. Like,
it's so bad.
It's awful.
Yeah. And so then Will walks Unique to the teacher's bathroom, and then Sue sees it. I'm holding up the C. And then she's like, you shouldn't have to do that. I'm willing to make a compromise with you.
Her reaction surprised me.
Sue's reaction?
Yes, I was surprised. I thought she was going to be angry that Will opened the door for Unique. Right. The fact that she acknowledges like Unique's situation really, really surprised me.
It's because Sue has no character consistency. She's
That is-
whatever
yeah.
what the writers want her to
Well,
be in that
because
moment.
at the same in
Yep.
the same episode, she thought the solution was to put a porta potty that has like the color purple and the color red and question marks, kind of indicative of like,
Isn't
we
it
don't
purple and
know what
yellow?
gender this person is. Was it purple and
Yeah,
yellow?
purple and
Oh,
yellow.
purple
Yeah.
Purple and yellow.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like literally putting this genderless bathroom in the middle of the choir. Like, I feel like that's pretty transphobic
Yeah, a
to
little
kind of
bit.
like. So then literally she's like, oh, okay, no, like, I don't know. Like, it's so weird that she just flip-flops.
And then she's like, but in exchange for Unique getting a key to the teacher's bathroom, you have to stop twerking. And Will is like, no, we will
No.
not stop twerking.
I was like, are you insane?
He,
You are so
Mm.
prideful, you piece of shit.
I actually thought she was gonna say you have to leave the school because you're fired.
Oh, that would have been great. That I would have understood. He would have been like, no. I'd be like, yeah, you're selfish. I get it. But like, he cannot let the twerking thing go. And it's just
Mm-mm.
like,
It's
what
weird.
monster?
Yeah. Yeah.
To say the very least, it's weird.
I wish, like, where's Emma to be like, Will, what are your priorities here? Because he throws a Sue style fit, and he
Oh my God.
starts throwing shit.
Also, doesn't Becky have to go to class? She
And
just
that
sits
was
there all
crazy.
day?
No, she's just the secretary. I don't know.
What was that
Secretary.
even?
I legitimately thought that the fact that Will actually like was like, I'm gonna throw a Sue fit, and then
And she's
went
like,
and
I have
does
no
it.
idea what that means.
That was funny.
That was a good line. She's like, I don't know what that means.
It was like that moment was a funny scene, especially when Becky is like,
She's like, Becky, don't do it. And then she, just
she flips the
xylophone.
xylophone. It was really funny, but only that part. The rest
Yes.
of it in context was like not great.
Oh, and there's a scene earlier where Unique is like, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Do you know who said that? And Sue is like, Captain America.
and then,
she's
and then
like,
Unique goes, Martin Luther King Jr. And Sue's like genuinely surprised. Captain America.
So then Will off screen decides that he will accept Sue's deal.
Right?
There was
so
a cut scene there.
confused.
There had to be a scene with Emma or something, or where she was like, well,
I think you're giving them too much credit. I'm pretty sure this is all off screen and they knew it.
yeah. So he decides to that, like, well, he's like, no, I just did this, and Unique's like, you did it for me, right? And Will's like, I did what anyone would do it with a friend. I'm not a white savior. He's like, the white saviorism of Will Schuester. But
Yeah, because like there's a scene where when he takes Unique to the faculty bathroom, he says some stuff and then they hug. And I'm like, why are you hugging him? Like, he does not have your best interests at heart.
yeah, like,
Also, I
he's
feel
like,
it's just weird.
you're never gonna always belong or something, like,
Yeah, you can't change the world alone. Basically, like, your job is to find people who welcome you and make you feel accepted, and then who will fight with you
mhm.
at your side. And it's like, okay, yeah, I understand that, but also like sometimes it is just like one person standing up and being like, this is not okay, for other people to finally stand up. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I hated it. Will's also wearing a really stupid outfit when he says this. It's like a tie thing. It's like loose and like.
There's a ton of weird things in this episode that makes Will undesirable as a teacher. I feel like
And as a general human being.
Well, yes. The fact that he actually opens a bathroom to a student who's experiencing bullying because they're going to the bathroom, that is a good moment.
Mhm.
But I feel like the way he's portrayed in the rest of the episode, it doesn't
It's like, how is that the same person?
Yeah, it doesn't quite add up, and it's hard to take. And I can't just like appreciate what is happening in the moment. I'm looking at the whole picture, and I really want to be able to just appreciate his kindness towards this other human being, and I can't. So I think they really, really failed in that respect.
Well, it's just, the show is just so, even though it's supposed to be a show kind of about like a diverse group of people, it's just so obviously written from like a white male perspective.
Yeah.
Like that's why all the characters are viewed through that lens.
Exactly. And so when you're watching this, it looks so unrealistic. It's like you didn't speak to one adolescent. Like you didn't care. Like this is just what you think is happening based off of things that you have seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See on other
don't really
TV shows.
know other TV shows, and you're all the same person. And it's just like this isn't real. And it is so far removed from reality that it kind of takes you out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So in the middle of all this, we also have another love triangle with Marley. Marley, Jake, Bree.
I forgot this entire storyline.
So Bree comes up, is like showing people a video of Marley twerking. It's a Vine, apparently. R.I.P. You will be forever missed.
Yeah.
But it's like, in the facts on the Wikipedia page for this, they're like, it couldn't have been a Vine because the video she's showing is longer than 7 seconds.
I mean, that's just truth right there.
Very true.
Also, like 2013 was like one of like the height of Vine. Like, why wouldn't they know that? Also, it's so clearly
because everyone who's writing this episode
is so old.
They're old. They have no idea what a Vine is. And everyone like assuming that the people who are listening to this are younger than us, which is probably a terrible assumption because the only people who listen to this are people who watch Glee, which are our age. But if anyone's younger than us, Vines are only
they're
7
like
seconds.
Shorter TikToks.
Yeah.
Can't believe I had to say that. But the other point is that the video is clearly just a cut from a scene we saw 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't have done like another angle. Like it would have taken 10 seconds. Like whatever. This is so annoying. This show.
So Bree is like, oh my gosh, like, is that you trying to twerk? And Marla's like, you're hilarious, like Comedy Central funny. And then Bree's like, well, me and your boyfriend twerked together because after your pathetic, oh no, don't touch me there, he came to me. And then she's like, Jake wouldn't do that, and he'd aim a lot higher than trash like you. And then Bree kind of has a good point where she's like, you're slut shaming, you're calling me trash, that's like femophobic, and the whole joke is that it's supposed to be like, oh, Bree's just full of shit. She's trying to defend herself, and I'm like, but she does kind of have a point.
Yeah, she's like using like feminism as a reason to call Marley out, even though like she's also bullying Marley. She's just like,
my question is this. So she was cheating with the boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well then she ain't got no leg to stand on, ho.
Listen, you know what this tells me about Bree? She would be a great politician.
I mean,
listen, because I mean,
she definitely's flipping the script on your ass.
Oh yeah,
I guess that's
for
the word.
sure.
She's flipping the script on you.
Yeah,
but like I hear all of that, but like I just feel like Marley can say whatever she wants. If she was cheating, you lose everything else. Like you can be as promiscuous and whatever you want, but like don't be up in my face. You fucked my boyfriend, bitch. Now we're fighting. So like
I need to clarify. Is the person who's cheating is Jake. Bree wasn't cheating. She doesn't have a boyfriend.
100%. No, I hear you. But knowing that you're cheating with like being in that sort of thing and knowing that you're in a relationship with someone else who has someone else, and then all up in my face about it, bitch. Don't be up in my face about it. What are you talking about? You are fucking my boyfriend, and you're being cheeky about it. Like,
right.
I can be like respectful of the person who's like, hey, that's not my relationship. I don't, don't be up in my face about it, because now you're getting some kind of, like, you feel like you're getting something out of it. Like, you feel like you did some shit, bitch. Now your face on the ground. Like,
the fact that she
you
knew he was in a relationship makes her that much more in the wrong.
Yeah.
And like, and like, I feel like I get like being that person who knows the person, like, but not knowing who the other person is, or even like being respectful of like, let me just chill out, not even like engage that person, like whatever, but don't be up in my face in our tea. Like, that's a problem, because you're a bitch. You're a fucking asshole.
Bree
like,
says
now
something.
I fight you.
Bree literally is like talking about this mole that Jake has on his hip, and that like he goes crazy when you kiss it, and I'm like, oh, this is like disturbing to hear. And then like Marley is like not she's like, I no, there's no way. And then she goes up to Jake, and I laughed even though I probably shouldn't have. She's like, pull down your pants.
It is dramatic. I'm like,
just
this baby's
so
standing
funny.
in his lockers. Like,
but like they're in the middle of school, and like I understand why she's doing that. But she's like, pull down your pants. That's the first thing she says. Did you sleep with Bree? It's pull down your pants.
Okay, to be fair, I thought she acted that particular scene really well.
She did.
This was
Don't get me
the
wrong.
first time that I was like, wow, she can actually act. Okay.
But I just was not
wrong, but
picturing.
What was she saying?
Yeah, I know.
She
The writing
delivered it how
wasn't
she
great.
had to, but what are you saying?
Yeah, like that line caught
Pull
me
your
off
pants
guard.
down,
I was not
baby, we switching classes. There's a lot of people out here.
Yeah, she's like, tell me it was with any, like, don't tell me you did it with her. And he's like, Marley, and then she's like, oh my gosh. She like pushes away, and then she goes
equal and opposite force, because she goes into the lockers.
Yep,
too. Like, that's the laws of physics, my friend.
It was dramatic. I was interested in the cinematography. Like, I'm like, these cuts are weird. Like, I was already complaining. Listen, I was looking at my friend already complaining about the cuts, and then her like kicking him, pushing. I was like, this is some bullshit. What am I watching? I can't with this.
And
I cannot.
Then she sings Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, she sure did, honey.
And like her voice is good, but like the performance just felt like it was a spoof of the Wrecking Ball video.
Is it an actual like one for one?
And wasn't it like
shot?
No,
should
it's
I
not
take
one
it
for
another
one.
way?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Because like
because the Miley Cyrus one is a lot more like it's darker. And it's
she's
also like it doesn't take place
less.
next to the sky, I don't think.
No.
Like
and it has a higher budget. Like
yes,
it looks like she's breaking down Legos.
That I thought that too. And she was busting windows through your car. She was throwing bricks through windows that for some reason I was like, where is she getting these bricks? Because that wall is clearly made of styrofoam. Yeah, it was very strange. But I was like, maybe this is her like dream sequence, and this is like the only budget she has in her imagination.
It felt really cheap for the high level of emotion we were supposed to have for that scene.
I agree.
Yeah.
I felt it really undermined it. Like they really just wanted to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna make fun of Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball video or pay homage to it. I don't know which.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of would have rather it have been, I don't know, like a montage of them like being together and happy or something sappy like that, which would make more sense.
I remember reading somewhere that though, because of the weird timeline of this season, where this is the last year's school year, the song Wrecking Ball wouldn't have been out yet.
What? What?
Oh no, wait. Cullen. Okay, wait. So this is the 2012 school year?
So they started in 2012. This is early 2013.
So this is like April 2013, because they've only got like 6 weeks of school left. And this, because Wrecking Ball came out in the summer.
That's when the We Can't Stop Won't Stop, because that was like a thing that we listened to in college.
Do they
I
actually
listened to
have
that
years
so
that they
much.
assign to the school years?
Well, if we're thinking about it, how like it started in 2010 and they were sophomores, that sort of progression, like, okay, that's the 2010-2011 school year. The next one's 2011-2012.
Yeah, it was released in August 2013.
Interesting.
Cullen, no, you're blowing my mind right now.
The timeline is so fucking messy.
Yes. it
Yeah, that
is.
song wouldn't have technically been out in the Glee universe.
Yeah. So this is just Marley wrote Wrecking Ball in the Glee universe.
And Miley
went-
Cyrus.
And that's where I'm at. Miley took her,
She
took
went
her
from
artistry and made it her own.
More Friends Than You Know and Outcasts and
To
All or Nothing to Wrecking Ball.
That's crazy. And then Miley Cyrus in the Glee universe like was in the back of the auditorium and she was like, I can do this better. I have more money.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So wait, that also means that the Miley Cyrus twerk thing hadn't happened. So Miley Cyrus got twerk from these kids. That makes a lot of sense as to why she wasn't actually twerking properly.
That is true.
Wow, we blew this wide open.
So also like the Jake Marley Brie love triangle has like some racist connotations in we talked about this a bit last week in the like virginal white girl and the sexually promiscuous Black man, and now there's a sexually promiscuous Black woman added to that.
You know.
Mm.
So thanks, Glee, for keeping that trope alive. Yeah.
We couldn't have all lived without it.
That's what Ryan Murphy thought. He was like, we can't let this die.
The
This must
people,
continue.
They need more racist tropes in their life. We need to reinforce them.
So yeah, I mean, is there anything else to say about okay, so at the end they're like, we're giving up twerking, we're gonna sing a song that's more us, because Marley's like, I've had a bad week, I didn't like twerking. And
Valid.
yeah, I'm like,
I mean,
you've had a
like-
rough week, girl. Like, yeah.
Rough 2 weeks. She was suspended last week.
Yeah.
True.
So we're gonna sing. I have to look up this song because
I had no idea what it was. I had never heard it before.
um
And there's
also
like a
haven't.
merry-go-round thing.
Right,
Like you see at the park.
what
Yeah.
was it?
whatever
She
it's
was like,
called.
we need to get back our
roots.
roots. Yeah, we need to
I thought they were gonna sing a
something about
Journey
youth.
song.
I know. I was like,
I
an 80s ballad. Okay.
I was like, sir, those are your roots.
No. And then Blaine comes up with this random song. He's like, I have the perfect song. I'm like, Blaine, why do
he
you know
comes up
this
with
song?
a hipster song. Blaine is literally just like a hipster.
It's On Our Way by the Royal Concept. And I watched a video essay about Glue last weekend, and this is what I learned, is that the song We Are Young by Fun was popularized by Glee.
Okay.
So, like, not the Glee, like the original became more popular than the Glee cover.
No,
but
like
it was
really,
kind of,
look, I'm intrigued.
yeah, but it was like that, it kind of pushed the song into the popular consciousness, and then the band Fun. So every once in a while, Glee does like a random hipster song, and like we've never heard this before, and they keep trying to repeat the success
Yeah.
of what they did with Fun. So I think that's what this was.
Yeah, Cullen, that made
That
me
trying
really
to like push people into the mainstream, like get their
Mhm.
music out there. I
Yeah.
like that.
that really
Okay.
made me question the origins of Fun being one of my favorite bands, because the person who probably introduced me to Fun was the very same person who introduced me to Glee. My Glee
Glee father.
godfather, my Glee father, if you will, Kyle, who was on the podcast many a season ago. So I should reach out to him and ask, be like, where did you first hear of Fun? Because if it was Glee, then I'm like, I'm a fucking phony, I guess.
I mean, but you have to be able to like look at a song and say, this is going to be popular. This is going to be on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This song didn't do it for me. It didn't get popular after this. So obviously I'm like,
I feel bad that
It's a decent song.
it's not great.
I wasn't into it.
Yeah, I was like, whatever. I just kept wondering why Jake's shirt was so short.
So not a
Didn't
great
even
song.
Because whenever everyone was lying down, like his was always like halfway up his stomach.
So we can see his abs. What kind of question is that?
Duh.
What was okay? And then another Glee thing that happened. We have a listener that's been saying the Glee cover of Dancing on My Own that was cut from the episode Diva. It's great. So I listened to it. It is great. It's supposed to be about Brittany being torn between Santana and Sam. And all the comments were like, glad this song got cut for Tina Vapo raping Blaine and Finn kissing Emma. And I'm like, yes.
So is that sarcasm? Not sarcasm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, I mean, is there anything else to talk about with this episode?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
It was fucking
Sorry.
wild.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Mr. Shu
He
belongs in prison with the teacher from Pretty Little Liars who marries his student.
Yes.
You know?
It's just not appropriate shit. Like, what are we doing? Ugh.
And the woman from A Teacher, she belongs to that prison too.
Oh, is that Kate Mara?
I don't know the actress's name.
Yeah.
Is that-
I never watched that show.
Is it Moore or Rooney?
Rooney Mara?
I think it's Kate Mara. That's the one with the guy
Rooney
from
Mara is her sister.
Yes.
Mhm.
Who was in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
Is that the same show? Is that what we're talking about? A Teacher? I never saw it. It was on Hulu.
Yeah. I never saw it either.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah. A teacher was just
Yeah.
about a
I was
woman who
literally
just-
like, I can't watch this content. I can't.
SNL did a funny skit. I think they were like, if the woman from A Teacher was black, and she was like, why would I want to sleep with someone who can't even pass the SAT? Like, it was like, he was like, you're fucking dumb. Like, I'm not. Like, yeah. I'm not here for teachers dating their students. Not a fan.
Or like making them twerk.
Twerk. Or making
Or
them
wear
twerk.
loincloths like they did last week.
and going them back so they can twerk. It's just like too much.
I'm not here for the way American TV portrays high school students.
Yeah.
I'm not here.
I'm not here.
I'm not here.
That's what this episode did to me. I have lifted off the plane. I'm in somewhere else.
So that brings us to
Tina
Tina
Time.
Guys, did you know that Jenna Ushkowitz wrote a book?
Recently?
It was an asshole this episode.
She was an asshole. She wrote a book in 2013, and in that book, she said, I chose Glee, but Glee didn't choose me.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
Is that
so
like is that like
sad.
the quote that they put on the front cover? Or
No.
okay.
That's so sad.
How many? I wrote down how many lines you had.
Good, because I
I'm
actually
gonna
didn't count.
say
She had surprisingly amount.
5.
I think like 3. She actually didn't have a lot.
Really?
They were all about the bathroom and making fun of Blaine. That's all she
Maybe
did.
Yeah.
3. You might be right.
Yeah.
For some reason, she has like a larger portion in my brain this episode. I don't know why.
She had a lot of visual reactions because they're making fun of her
Yeah,
for not being
that
able
could
to
be.
twerk. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
it.
honey, you can't twerk either. This did
Yeah.
make me think of being in ballroom dance when Jasmine showed me how to move my hips. Yeah. Okay.
I
MVPs and
remember that.
LVPs.
I
That was
like,
a good
I can't let
time.
my boy go out like that. Like, Cullen, come on, let's get this together. Like, we can't be seen like this.
So actually in the I was at a PowerPoint party and my friend did all his friends as owls, and for me I was the owl from Harry Potter because I'm the whitest person he knows.
You were Hedwig.
Yeah.
That's
I'm like, that's valid.
interesting. But Hedwig can kind of be kind of mean. So maybe literally just thinking about visuals, not personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least Hedwig in the book can be mean.
I mean, she eventually dies to regain.
Rip.
Yeah. So
She sacrifices herself for Harry.
Which is a redemption arc.
That's true. Anyway.
MVPs and LVPs. Jasmine, who is your least valuable player this episode?
Damn, least.
You gotta pick just one.
I'm gonna say my MVP is Unique. My least. Oh shoot, easy. Asshole. No,
Yeah.
fuck that guy. He's my least valuable. Is a girl sucky guy.
Does anyone have an answer that's any different for these two choices?
I didn't really have MVP or music picked out yet, but honestly,
Unique is the most valuable and Will is the worst.
It's literally like
I was
this.
gonna say, I'm pretty sure this is a unanimous
I'm
decision.
thinking of anyone else. Like, I do also have Rachel written down for bringing limoncello to the tattoo shop. It was like, that's not fun. There's literally no one else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was easy this time.
Yeah.
So let's talk about music. For songs, we had, let me pull up my list. You Are Woman, I Am Man, Blurred Lines, If I Were a Boy, Wrecking Ball, and On Our Way. Jasmine, what was your least favorite song?
Blurred Lines.
Yeah.
Easy.
Is this
Favorite
also a
hour?
unanimous
Yeah.
decision?
See, let me just quickly explain. I knew Blurred Lines was happening. And for some reason in my mind, I was like, surely Shu won't be singing it. It'll be the students. Oh boy, was I wrong. And I think that's what made it even worse.
Yeah, it wasn't just like Jake doing a number. It was Will,
Right.
the teacher.
Like, so actually, based on last week, so when I was editing, I was thinking, I wonder if Jake is going to be the one singing it. He's going to be like singing it to Marley, because that seems to be where that was going. And then it's Shu, and then I'm like, oh boy.
Not only does he sing it, he fights for the fact that he sang it with his students, which makes it worse.
He literally cannot admit when he's wrong.
No, he cannot. He fired Kurt for wanting to sing Britney, and now he's singing Blurred Lines.
So big shocker. My least favorite song is also Blurred Lines.
Blurred Lines. It is the worst.
Once again, unanimous.
Now the best song.
I'm gonna take a guess and say that this is also unanimous.
If I Were
What
a
are
Boy.
those songs again? If I Were a Boy.
If I Were a Boy by Unique is mine for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Same.
like the very last song.
On Our Way.
What else happened? What are the other songs?
Wrecking Ball.
Didn't like Wrecking Ball. Like, I would listen to it again, but it was not great to watch. I was
The
confused.
man-woman song.
You Are Woman,
I
Am
didn't like
Man.
that song.
Mm.
It was weird. It was the blurred lines of that musical.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, If I
Wow.
Were
I
a
think
Boy.
it's the first time
that's
it's ever been totally unanimous.
Everyone is saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Therefore, it must be true.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. It just was so blaringly obvious. I don't know.
Yeah, like one storyline had like a lot of emotion behind it, and the rest was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yep.
It's just so obviously Glee is no longer relevant and trying to be relevant.
Yeah, and this was literally 5 years into their production, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they stopped being relevant 2 seasons ago, and then it's just getting worse.
They did a school shooting to try and be relevant.
I feel like end of season 5, season 6 is where they realize they're not relevant anymore. Is that?
I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, but I
pray.
feel like that's where we're going. So
Let's pray that the show gets a little better.
I don't know if better's the right word.
From what I hear, is 6 is more, it's just weird.
Right.
And 5, it's still trying to be relevant. Yeah.
Right. All right.
All right. So that is the end of Twerk.
Thank God. Oof. Smooth sailing from here on out, guys.
Next week is a Billy Joel tribute. I'm pretty sure.
2 tribute episodes in a row. Because they're tributing Miley Cyrus, remember? Maybe that's why they didn't do the tribute to Miley Cyrus.
So they didn't have 2 tributes in a row.
That, and also Miley Cyrus is like, you get 1 song.
I mean,
that's what you get. Because what else are they gonna do? Hannah Montana?
In the Gleeboot, they're gonna sing
Get the best of both worlds.
In Gleeboot, they're gonna sing Malibu, and someone's gonna point out the fact that in the song, Miley says she doesn't understand boats.
In the Gleeboot, I want a tribute episode for every character in the original Glee that went on to make songs.
No.
Yes,
no,
I want it. I want to
have
We're not doing
Michelle.
I want to do it.
She has a few albums and a Christmas album. Darren Criss has a Christmas album. Cord Overstreet has a. I don't know if he has albums. He has
Darren Criss
EPs.
has an album. Yeah, well, he is.
I think he has an album.
Yeah, he has an EP.
Yeah.
Well, if we're not doing full episodes, we at least need to do some of their best songs.
It could actually be kind of funny to do like a Leah Michelle original and then a
for
Darren
sure
Criss original. I think
come on, that's so meta.
Yeah, I think that could work. And they'd be like, and then in the Glee, like in the Gleeboot, that Glee universe, Leah Michelle and Darren Criss are like actually just like artists in the world. That's kind of interesting.
It's perfect.
Love it.
All right. Jasmine, any social medias you'd like to plug?
Yeah, Instagram at JazzyMoco, JAZZYMOCO. Also, that's my TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a little content on there. Maybe I'm a little bit, whatever.
Whatever, no big deal. You can follow Gleeboot on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We are at Gleeboot Pod. You can also find us on Tumblr, gleebootpod.tumblr.com.
You can follow me on Instagram at Cullen Ever After.
And you can follow me on Instagram at a.m.swearingen.
I should have twerked to that.
Please don't.
I thought about it too in my head. I was like, I'm gonna get up.
But I cannot twerk. I
can't.
Someone during the pandemic asked me to twerk on Zoom, or was it? Yeah.
Why?
It was a date.
Okay.
You didn't go on another date with that person, right?
Oh, I think I did.
Oh,
he's like surprised it was Rafa.
Rafa actually refused to do Zoom dates. He was like, no.
That's classy as shit.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. So yeah, next week, Billy Joel tribute. We get some Marley Ryder content, I guess, which we were all begging for.
Did they already do like a bunch of Billy Joel songs? Is there
I
any left?
know.
I mean, I love Billy Joel. Don't get me wrong, but like,
I know you do. I do not.
like songs that people, the songs they would want to do are probably ones that people already know.
The only song that I know that like comes to mind when I think of Billy Joel is Piano Man. That's it. I have no other basis.
Did they do Piano Man already?
No.
I don't think they did.
Okay. They did Uptown Girl.
Rebel
Billy
Yell is
Joel?
Billy Joel, right?
Say what?
Rebel Yell.
No, Billy Idol. Very close though.
Mm.
Billy Joel is like soft pop rock, and then Billy Idol is like hard rock.
They did Only the Good Die Young in the religion episode.
Oh yeah.
Didn't know that was Billy Joel either.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
guess
and they
do
did
have
another
some.
one. They did an a cappella Billy Joel song at some point.
For the longest time.
Something. It was like a very I can visually barely remember the performance and vocally even less.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do actually have a lot more Billy Joel songs, like notable ones. Curious to see.
All right.
Well, Jasmine, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely. It was so fun. It's always so fun.
Yay.
Yay.
Next week.
Till next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.